straight to the point. Today we're here to make manga together, particularly make a yonkoma. So I think the people who joined us earlier in our previous workshops already know what's up. So are you guys excited? If you are, type I'm excited in the chat. Let's see it. Let's see who's excited. Oh, we still have more people joining. Okay, Xavier's all fired up. And Soren, Tengis. Yes, we got Jackson Coolman, GH, Claudio, Dicky, 825. Ah, I see another recurring character. Yeah. All
Pals,
right.
Blue Draws, Acid Dragon, Peacekeeper, Jam Jam, they're excited. Fushiro,
Yeah.
Kamiga, Zapstream, they're excited.
That's
We're all
awesome.
excited. We're all
Oh
hyped.
yeah. Great, great, great. Yeah, get your energy drinks ready. Owen, I won't be able to do the physical activity because I have my son with me, so I'll be watching all of you. Oh, that's okay, Owen, and say we're saying hello to your son. Thank you for letting him in on this experience. You and your son get to enjoy watching the others. Yeah, that's how you raise future artists, right? Get them in on
Start
the
them young.
start
Start
them
them
young.
young.
Yes, a true man of culture. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so I'm glad to see that a lot of you guys are excited. So, just a quick reminder for everyone, okay? Now this is going to be a hands-on workshop. So those who are participating, especially if you're here in the Zoom, please prepare your pen, your paper, your drawing tablet, and your drawing software ready. And even though it's not written here on screen, make sure you have an ergonomic. Wow, this deep word. Make sure you have a
Ergonomic.
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 Make sure you
Uncomfortable.
yeah, make sure you got a comfortable space to work with, okay? Like make sure your chair is all adjusted. Make sure that you don't do the shrimp back for way too long. And don't get injuries before you even start on your manga journey. Okay, guys. Yeah. And also make sure that you've got your Yonkoma manga drawing template ready. So what we mean by that is having your panels ready. We'll show you an example of that template in a little bit. But first, um, just a few, what do you call this? Some introductory slides for all of you. So you're in for something very special because the manga techniques that me and my companion here are about to teach you are the same techniques that are used by our pro mangaka mentors. So just to reintroduce them to you, we have worked with pro Japanese mangakas, the amazing Naoi Yazawa, the creator of Wedding Peach, and Rena
Woo.
Saya as well. So
Woo.
together they have over 50 years of combined experience in the manga industry, and they've done it all. They've won contests, they've got published, they taught beginner students in Japan and outside of Japan how to draw manga. In fact, Rena Sensei is actually working on a series right now. So these two amazing mangaka mentors, no, definitely they know what they're doing. And we've also worked with Steph Pastrano, a professional webtoon artist who started out on social media as a fan artist to popular shonen anime, and he's now the lead artist to an ongoing webtoon and is working on doujinshi. And last but not the least, we've also welcomed our new mentor, the one and only Art Crumbs, the creator of the Godsbane series, as well as the Viz Originals one shot on Nami. Okay,
Woo,
so
woo,
in the
woo.
in the last 3 years, we've worked with over 400 beginner anime and manga artists all over the globe. So we're going to show you just a few examples of what our students' progress. So we have Steven's progress from the first Yonkoma he worked on from the right to the left. So this is how much he has improved. There's definitely a lot more variety, a lot more dynamism in the way that he panels his work. We also have the Garrett, who start in just 2 months, like he can make this much, this much progress in 2 months. Like he's like, getting more comfortable incorporating backgrounds in his storyboards. Actually, this is even a storyboard, right, Coach Kim? This is like inking.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
already
they've
in
inked.
stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we also have Joe, who joined us just late of last year. So, um, in fact, we actually have more stuff from Joe that's already much better than this. So, like, we're gonna show you that towards the end of the session if you stay all the way till the end. So, in just a month, he was able to level up his paneling, his inking, and more. And with that, we're here to take you to the next level and help you create a Yonkoma manga that you feel proud of. So, with that said, we invite you to stay until the very end for the live critique of your Yonkoma manga. We're going to be choosing four random submissions here in the Zoom. Okay, so for those who are watching from YouTube, unfortunately, there's no way for us to see your submission, so we're only going to be taking in we're only gonna be picking four from the entries here from the people here in Zoom. Okay, and also remember, this is not a contest, so don't feel bad if your work is not featured. We only have a limited number of slots, and we're doing this to learn from each other and grow together as mangakas. So is everyone ready?
Are you
While
ready?
while I was while we were yapping, did you already have your your tools? Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that y'all are ready. Okay, Soren, Claudio, and GH is ready. Xavier is ready. And hopefully, even though we're not gonna be critiquing your works, guys, the ones who are watching us from the YouTube live, we hope that you still draw along with us. It's gonna help you practice. Yes. Okay. So Peacekeeper is ready, Pals is ready. Nice, nice, great. Okay, that's awesome. So that said, would let me just reintroduce ourselves.
Wow,
So
wow, wow,
how
wow.
wow wow wow. Coach Kim is like my soundboard.
Yeah, I'm
my
like the soundboard right now.
Okay, so anyways, I am Coach Karen. So I'm one of the student success coaches at Learn to Draw Manga. I am a book cover illustrator and the character designer who has worked with independent authors for web novels, middle grade and young adult fantasy projects. Nice to meet you all. And joining me today is Coach Kim, also part of our Learn to Draw Manga student success team as our course developer. She is a character designer, freelance artist, a freelance artist for the still
Still
sorry about
fleet.
Still Fleet RPG core rule books and splash artist for the Paraluman zine. So
Woo.
meet Coach Kim, guys. She's the goat.
Coach
No.
Karen is the goat.
Oh, we're all goated. Yay.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. So a very brief introduction of what a yonkoma is for those who are joining us for the first time who hasn't made a yonkoma yet. So Yonkoma is also known, you can also say four koma or yonkoma. It's a manga strip that always has four panels of equal size. So it's a popular manga format in newspapers, magazines, and even manga anthologies like Azumanga Daioh, Lucky Star, Blend S, and there's so much more. So if you've read Look Back by Tatsuki Fujimoto, the creator of Chainsaw Man, then you might have seen something like this. And usually these four panels follow a format known as Kisho Tenketsu. Okay, so for those who don't know what Kisho Tenketsu is, this story structure describes what happens in Yonkoma manga. So the first panel is where you set up the scene. This is where you introduce your characters and show this builds upon the situation introduced in the first panel. So maybe a little bit more about the plot, the development. When you get to your third panel, that's where you introduce the twist or 10. So this is where you show an unexpected turn of events, the shock factor, the emotional height of the scene, and lastly, you've got Ketsu or the conclusion where we wrap up the story. Usually it's common to see like this in gag manga, so it's usually funny or surprising, but it doesn't necessarily have to be comedy all the time. We also sometimes see this in more emotional, more what do you call this, scary Yonko. The one I'm picking first is from Vilci. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Yeah, so hi, you've been chosen. You've been chosen. Okay, so okay, I'll be sending you an unmute request. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your Yonkoma, and then we'll be asking you some questions. And yeah, so tell me about your a bit about this one, what you struggle with, what you liked about it. Hang on, how do I unmute you? I lost the.
Request. Yeah.
There we go.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Hello. Oop. Are you able to unmute? Okay. Toot toot. Okay, ask to unmute. Let me know if you can unmute or if you can
Hi,
just. Hey, there we go. Hi. So, hello. Okay, let me show your work on screen. I'm
of
way
course.
zoomed in way too much. So, tell us a bit about this Yonkoma.
So it's about grandson and grandfather, and grandson is really awful because he asks him money every time he sees him.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, grandfather gets angry, and he's from his prime time. He's a champion in judo, so he like educates him.
Nice. I actually really, really love your Yonkoma. I had the chuckles when I first saw it. So, before I give you some feedback, was there anything in particular that you had struggled with, you had trouble working on?
Of course, the time is really short, but I felt better that yesterday because second time is always better than the first time because I never did that. I always was like, I cannot do it. I just try to make
Mhm,
characters, but not in a comics book. It was
mhm,
just my wish,
mhm.
so I'm really glad that I could like go forward with my art with
Nice.
you.
I'm glad to hear that. And I actually love what you said about getting better at it the second time. Earlier in, a few hours ago in the first workshop, we told you guys to, make kind of enjoy the process of trying to draw within a time limit, not because it's you putting pressure on yourself, but because it helps you try not to think about making it look perfect, just enjoying the process. And I'm glad, it's clear it brought out really good results. So I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this one, okay, and stay unmuted for a while, so because I might ask you some questions along the way. So what I first really liked about your Yonkoma is the use of body language and visuals to tell a story. We I didn't you know how in anime manga there's always usually that exposition, he was a former judo martial artist, something like that. Yeah, and it's one of those my personal pet peeves, honestly, about anime and manga in general. Sometimes they get a bit too overboard with the exposition, and I'm like, I know, I can see it, it's happening on the screen in the panel. Yeah, but I love that you were able to express that. Like the character design, actually, even from the first panel alone, I could already tell that this dude is like a he's wise beyond, like he's apart from him being old, like he's giving martial artist energy, or maybe I was a former soldier kind of energy. I really love that. And I also love this sequence where he does what do you call this throw, this so I forgot the term, like that judo move where you throw the dude over the shoulder and all that. I apologize for me being ill informed. Okay, so yeah, you did great with your character design, your body language, and then visual storytelling, so that's amazing. Now, as for things that maybe if you want to continue working on this, because I understand the time limit doesn't really give you that luxury. There's an opportunity to improve composition. Okay, so when we say composition, it's making sure that all of your visual elements are balanced, they feel harmonious within the space given, and it's pretty common to find the rule of thirds in composition. So here we have the grandson, he's a bit too close to the inner like this border right here, so let's give him a little bit more breathing room. um I think this angle is already great. Okay, so maybe you could zoom out a little bit, give this a tighter shot. Yeah, and your dialogue is cramped within this space. Okay, so like the similar to what we told the mangakas who joined earlier, you can maximize the space given outside of the panel. Okay, so if the dialogue box is way too close to these corners, just put it all the way out there and try to avoid tangents. So when we say tangents, it's when speech bubbles overlap with the
Excuse me.
character. Yeah, you're
I'm sorry.
excused. No worries. No worries. So yeah, just doing it like this. Yeah, maybe angle the yeah, you could show the hand, show the old man. Yeah, this is a very rough situation. So maybe you could also do a bit of perspective, because right now it you know that isometric view, it kind of looks like this. Everything's within the same um perspective, but maybe you could do 1 point perspective where he's just a little bit further. You know, there's a little bit of distance. You can foreshorten his hand. Probably, hang on, let me fix that up for you. So you can foreshorten the hand a little bit, give him that space to move. I like that. Um, his expression, you can either connect his vision to his face or his hand, but based on his dialogue, he's addressing the grandson. So eye level, okay? In a 1 point perspective, if the line of sight is here from the character, the this is like the eye. If you zoom out, say let's say this is like a really extreme version, this has to align. So we know that they're meeting eye to eye this way. Yeah, like this is just a really extreme example. Yeah, so you could do that. Okay. And then next, same thing. I don't mind this exchange already. Um, Another way, like this is already okay, but if you want to try some alternatives, maybe it could be, you know, you know that thing in manga or an anime, like the shine in the eye, like you dare threaten me. Maybe you could use speed lines here, or you could also use the same scenario, just adjust the position of your speech bubbles. And this one, I love the sequence already. If you want to just make that a lot more intense, a lot more exaggerated, use an extreme perspective. So, same thing for what you did with here. You have this. this dude doing the suplex. Yeah. So he's throwing the dude, and then this shot is a lot closer. Okay, I didn't give it enough space. Yeah. Just give it more room. If you think there's not enough room, make it bigger. Big movements here, small movements there. Yeah. So, woog, so it turns into that sequence. Zoom in, zoom out. Okay. So zoom out here, zoom in, or maybe this is like enough. Just make this a little bit more distant. Okay. And for this one, I already like the composition here. There's just not enough headspace up top. So use that same composition. He has his arms crossed, looking down. He has his legs propped up, and then you have um yeah. So there's a bit more room to see what's going on. Maybe there's like trophies. Maybe he's a champion in the past, and then maximize that space. Okay. Now for your dialogue. Give me your purse already, Jeezer. Are you really my grandson? Um Maybe even without this dialogue, this already works. Let's maximize the space. Now, what do you think you're educating you if my son did not? Um I mean, yeah, I think this is okay. Even without this dialogue, this could also work. I mean, I'm not saying you should get rid of your dialogue completely, just that sometimes less is more. Okay, so your strength, Vilshi, is you already have pretty impressive visual storytelling. So if you, one of the pieces of advice that we got from our mentor, Yazawa Sensei always says, if your visuals can tell it enough, no need to add more dialogue or more narration. Let the pictures do the talking. Yeah. So, yeah, do you have any questions? Sorry if that took way too long, Coach Kim. Yeah. So, you got questions, Filchi? Ah, nice, nice. Okay, okay. So, let me just send you an unmute request. Hang on. Okay.
Well, thank you. I think that the first square you explain it, it's really better. I like it really. Thank you for your comments. I can see where can go with this,
Mhm.
and you are right about commentaries because I didn't have enough time, so I didn't have time to shorten the words. So
Mhm.
thank you very much
Mhm.
for the future of this Yonkoma.
You're welcome. And honestly, it's okay. I think that's the great thing about, we expect that you guys will do it rough the first time. And honestly, even professionals, even pro level artists or pro level mangaka, if they do this within a time limit, the first draft is always gonna look a little bit rough. But that's what this workshop is here for. You get feedback, you know what you can adjust, and then in your second try, you know how to make it better. So yeah, good, congratulations, and thank you for sharing your work. Yeah, I'm gonna
Thank
pass the.
you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna pass the baton to Coach Kim for
Oh.
uh the next Yonkoma. Sorry if that took a long time, guys. Yeah.
It's okay. Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen. Hold up. Okay, so the person's work that I'm critiquing is Alexandra's. Alexandra, I'm gonna ask you to unmute. Hello, Alexandra, are
Okay.
you there? Are you here? Are you able to unmute?
Okay, let's see.
Hmm. Well, they're
Alexandra.
here. They're
Yeah.
here in chat, but
Yeah.
oh, okay. Hi, I've asked you to unmute. If you can tell us a little bit about your strip fishing, or if if they're fishing, if you can tell us a little bit about it, we'd love to hear. Okay. Cue elevator music. Dun 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 dun.
Tin, tin, tin. Oh wait, are we gonna get copy struck?
No, probably not.
Yeah. Tit,
Okay.
tit, tit, tit. Okay, that.
Seems like we're having trouble getting
Yeah.
Alexandra to unmute.
Mhm.
You can also just type in chat if it's like a little hard right now to unmute. Um, but for now, I guess I'll just go straight into my comments on your Yonkoma. So I really thought that this was really good already. Like I love, as you can see here, I really love the reaction image that you put here. It's very, anime and manga-ish, and like that's the kind of thing that really is good in comics because we have to see what the characters' feelings are. You also have like a really good spread of different kinds of camera shots. Like you had like a close up, a mid shot, and like a full body. But I think one suggestion I have is that to make it like fully sorry, a suggestion I think to make the flow better would be to have this first one be a unmuted.
Can
Alexandra is unmuted. Hi.
hello.
Hello. Okay, I'll just continue and then we can, we can talk about it more. So, one of like the things I think that could help make your yawn comma better is to make this for into a full body shot, like a far shot like this one, so that you could have something like this, a flow like this, which I think looks better than the mid, the close, then the close, then the far. Especially because it would be nice to also have an establishing shot so that we can see where the characters are in the space. So you have this character, and then you could clearly see that the other person is standing behind. Because here we can see a little bit, but I think it would really help you to have a better establishing shot. And then the next thing I noticed was this go to hell dialogue. You made it pretty small. I guess it's because you were a little afraid of covering up the art that you made, which is fair, but you really have to like give space to the dialogue because it's very important here, I feel, especially this one. It really shows like the intent of the character. So I think you have to give space. This is my suggestion of like where you can place the bubbles, but you can always like change it around and also change like the composition here. And then no notes on this. This one's very good. It's very funny. And then finally, here you have this character beating up the other character for being rude. Okay, so do you have any questions or something that you were concerned about when you were making this yon comma?
No, the go to hell text I made it smaller because I thought it was offensive. I didn't
Oh.
know if I can use it or not.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Maybe we could say go to heck. Let's pretend it was go to heck for now, and then you could change it.
Okay.
But usually when it comes to dialogue bubbles, you really want to give them room because this is like something that the reader has to read. So if you're like making it super cramped with like no reason at all like this, it's going to be really hard to read. So usually don't be afraid to make your dialogue bubbles take up space in your panel. I think maybe one thing that could help you was you could optionally go for a more rectangular set of panels instead of more square if you need like a little more space, but then it will also change like the composition of your work. But otherwise, this is actually really good. I love like just the flow. You can really tell like from the storytelling you were doing visually of like how of like the flow. So yeah, I'll the slightly um somewhat top down view here also I think really helps in establishing like their place. You also kept like the 180-degree rules, like very good overall, very good work.
Thank you, thank you.
Do you have like any questions or something you would like to say about your Yonkoma before we proceed to
Uh,
the next one?
I have a question. I was thinking about the last slide,
Mhm.
the last panel to switch with the one that's up. I
This
don't know
one
how to say.
or this
Um,
one?
no, the second last panel.
This one?
Yes, I think I was thinking about to switch the order, to push him and the end to be like to look.
Mm. Well, it sort of depends on like what you wanted to say, but I really think that this is already like a good order because when this person says go to hell, naturally the reaction is like, oh, this guy. And then then the reaction to that, like it like flows logically from the reaction of like, ugh, and then the actual action of them kicking the other person. So I think it's like logically sound. But unless you want it to be like the immediate reaction is them kicking them, and then their final reaction is like ugh, disgusting kind of thing. I guess that's also possible, but I already think that this is very good. I already feel like this already sells like this person does not like this other person. And it's sort of funny to end on a panel of somebody getting beat up in like this kind of sense. It kind of like finishes up nicely. What do you think?
Okay,
Okay.
it's okay. And sorry for my English. It's
No, no, no.
bad.
I understand. You're perfectly fine. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you
Yeah.
so
Thank you.
much. Thank you, Alexandra. All
Thank
Yay,
you.
right.
great job. Great
Great
job.
job.
Okay, so the next is we're gonna call on Angelica. Angelica, there we go. Let's send you an unmute request. Yay, I'm seeing more traditional works. That's great. Okay, let's see. Where is the unmute request? There you go. So, Angelica. I love your Yonkoma. So cute. We finally
Uh,
got. Hi.
Hi, thank you.
You're welcome. So, tell us a bit about your Yonkoma.
Well, I tried to draw from my own life, I think.
Mhm.
The idea is starting from something that I felt on myself, let's say,
Mhm.
so that I lived.
Mhm.
That's it.
Mhm.
And I don't know if I should say that I struggle with the first panel
Mhm.
in choosing all the story. So yes, I at first I really struggle in choosing how to start the Yonkoma.
Got it. Got it. Thank you for sharing. And, it's okay. I think this is something a lot of us share, honestly, like deciding on the first panel, deciding on that initial idea. And I will say though, this is very beautifully drawn for something that is done within 40 minutes, so I would say great job. Also, you have like this really pretty shoujo-esque feel to like your character design. Character design is important because I think it's very like I need to know who the main character is. I can see like the kind of like the initial impression of who this protagonist is. Maybe she's like a shy girl or a dainty girl, a girl's girl. It all shows here. So my general notes are aside from the beautiful visuals, I also really like that you drafted your effects. I like this like effect you did where the other people in the room, in the classroom, like fade into the background, and you isolate this character right here, so we know that she's too wrapped up in her own thoughts, wrapped up in her own worries, in her in her anxiety. So I think this is a really great effect to that you incorporated here. Now, um understand this is only done within a few minutes, so don't worry too much about, oh no, I should have done it differently. If you do decide to like polish this a bit more, consider varying some of your panels, because we have a thing called like the talking heads in manga. What we mean by that is in succession, all of your panels are just close up shots. So there's not a lot of like variety. So if I may ask, oh, are you someone who's more used to drawing close-ups? Were you feeling anxious about like maybe drawing full body? Is that the case?
I guess my struggle is to draw in a small space, like a squared, rectangularly
Mm-hmm.
format, like all the panels. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I purposely try to draw within this format
Mm-hmm.
because maybe if I had more space, I could express more. So I wanted to challenge myself, trying to do more, drawing in a smaller space, and
Mm-hmm.
see what I could do or what I could not do within 40 minutes. So that's it.
I see,
So
I see. That's good. It's a way for you to like know what your strengths are and what opportunities you could improve on. I think that's a great, a great thought process that you have there. So, yeah, I think that honestly, I don't really personally mind like these. I see Yonkoma that are formatted this way where it's consistently close up shots. Sometimes it's the same camera angle across all four panels. So there's nothing really wrong here. It can risk it seeming like talking heads in fewer panels. So but we're gonna I'm gonna expound on that a bit more in a bit. Okay. Now,
okay, thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. So I'm not quite done yet. Sorry. So for this, like say, maybe to provide you with that space, you can shorten some of your dialogue, because I noticed that there's a lot of exposition here. Like say for example, you already have really great visuals. I think we can pick up on how she's feeling, what she wants to like, like she's expecting the person that she has a crush on. um so I like that you name drop the other character. Okay, she's waiting for someone and she's excited. She's blushing. So even if she didn't say that she's waiting for her crush, even if she didn't say her my childhood crush, this already implies that she's waiting for someone she admires. And for, she says in this elementary school class reunion dinner, um instead of saying where she is, just show it. You could do probably something like maybe she's in the cafeteria, maybe they're eating, maybe they're wearing their school uniform. As I'm gonna are these students? Actually, they made me think, is she a student? I know you said this is like based on your personal experience, so were you a student here? Um in this situation?
Uh, no, I was already an adult, let's say. I wasn't a student anymore.
Ah.
And we were in a restaurant, so it was out of the school kind of a setting.
Mm, I see, I see. So if that's the case, it's a reunion. Okay, got it, got it. Okay, that makes sense. Hmm. Um, some artists do narration at the elementary school or at the class reunion dinner, something like that. And then she's got dialogue. I'm so anxious. Is he coming? Or is he arriving, or he's not here yet? Something like that. And you can show that it's a class reunion dinner if it's like a bunch of adults wearing, business casual, or like you can see from the language, like the extras in the background what they're wearing. This is already great, so maybe having that detail would be awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, and overall, really great job. I love your art style, and I hope that you keep making more. I'm excited to see what you come up with next, and maybe join the class. Yeah.
Woo!
All right. Thank you,
Good job.
Angelica. I'm sorry if I
Thank
kept
you.
you too long. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was really helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's give it back to
Okay.
Coach Kim.
Nice, nice. Okay, so for me, the next person I chose was Claudio. Hi, Claudio. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Hold on. The button is not going up. Ask to unmute. Okay. Claudio. I chose
Hello.
Claudio's work. Hi. Hi, hi. So yeah, do you want to share a little bit about the Yonkoma that you made before I go into my comments?
Oh, I just chose. Sorry, I'm nervous to speak here.
It's okay, it's
Uh,
okay.
I
Um,
chose all scenes I have that really like each other, and I like making interactions between each of them because one
mhm,
is very had a very sad backstory and stuff, and the other is like her emotional support. So the interactions end up being very wholesome.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I chose it because I thought it was like super wholesome and just the change from Kel's sort of survivalist, sort of cold world into sort of a bright, sunny, very affectionate final panel. I thought it was very cute. And the other thing I also really liked was that you wrote over here, you wrote the script for your key shot and cat. So I really wanted to choose yours because you put like a thing here, which I thought was very smart and a very good way for you to plan in such a short amount of time. So I thought that this was very good. There's like a really good flow here as well. But I just put here some suggestions that I think that could help make it better. So for first, here is that we have your establishing shot. You chose a really nice camera angle for this, but if you I think instead of doing like a really dark background, you can instead show a little bit of maybe they're in the training grounds because you don't really have to draw it for the rest of the other panels. You can just make it a very simple background just so that we know where Kel is in like the space. And then for the second panel, I think zooming in a little bit just so that you could show that he's sort of like in his own head and he's feeling, like his very dark backstory that he has to be colder. But then we already have like a hint of Seth over here in the other corner already coming in. And then for your third panel, I like the close up shot is nice because we could really see his face. But I thought it would be fun to suggest that just like the turn, because we can see here he's like turning, and it like for the panels that you made, it's really good because you can really see the follow. But like because I changed the second panel in my suggestion, you can actually have him because in here, sorry, my concept is that he's like still doing his training, and then Seth comes in, he knows this is Seth, and then we have the Banpu here. It's like, oh, it's Seth, and then we keep your really lovely hugging panel over here. So the reason why I'm suggesting these because one, the zoom in to like really focus in on him being in on his head, and then for the 10 to have like a really big change of, oh, he's finally out of his head, he's noticed Seth, and sort of just lightening up everything and giving it more space, and then finally having like a hug here. Also because this one feels like sort of cramped, and sort of like the perspective, if you're thinking about it, Seth, if Seth is this small in like the composition, he would actually be farther from Kel than dentist, just sort of distance stuff and just headroom. Yeah, and you don't necessarily need to probably best to also have like a dialogue bubble there. Um, yep. But also really, really good storyline. Good. I think it's like a good use of like having like like a narration bubble, narration square bubbles, and then moving it towards like a dialogue bubble to just show that, oh, he's out of his head now and he's happier with Seth around. Do you have any questions? I hope that was helpful.
was
Oh wait.
it was pretty helpful. I have no questions.
Oh, okay. But yeah, good
Yeah.
job. I hope you make more
Yay.
Kisho Tenkets. And yeah, just keep continuing doing this, writing your script stuff first, because it'll definitely help you, especially when you go make longer stuff or like you make more complex stuff
Mhm.
either. Great job on this, Claudio. Yay.
Yay. Congratulations, guys. Congrats, Claudio. And congratulations to everyone. I really like that you were all pumped up today. It was a very challenging experience for me and Coach Kim because there are a lot of really great Yonkoma
Yeah.
submissions, but we don't have a lot of time. So hopefully, even if you guys did not get critiqued, you did not, you're even if you weren't chosen, there's still a lot to learn.
Oh, Coach
Um,
Karen, I
oh,
think. Oh, never mind. Okay. I was checking the live on YouTube and the screen was black, but now it's not. So we can continue. I'm
okay.
sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Internet things. Yeah. But what there's a lot to learn from listening to feedback for to other people. We're here to learn. So this is not a contest. This is not Coach Karen and Coach Kim thinks that these people are better than me. No, that's not the case. Like, you taking part in this is you already making that level up. I mean, maybe some of you might have been doing this for the very first time, or maybe this is the first time you finished something, and consider that a win. Yeah. So what we are gonna do now is want to challenge you to share some of your takeaways. How about you write? We're gonna give you maybe 5 minutes to write your takeaways in the chat. For this applies to both our YouTube people watching from the YouTube live and here in Zoom. So, for takeaways, what did you like about the Yonkoma you worked on? Uh, what do you think you did great at? What do you think you struggled a little bit? What did you learn from the coaches or from listening to your fellow mangakas' feedback on their work? So we love to hear that. Yeah. And if you happen to be watching us from the replay, let us know your answers in the comment section down below in this video. Yeah. And tell us if you did the prompt. I think it would be great if we know that you worked on this, even if you didn't join us from the live. Yeah. Okay, so we got some people sharing. Okay, so Noodle says making a storyline is way harder than I thought. Yeah, I think that's a lot of us relate to that. Yeah. So Sudin, hi Sudin. Yes, one of our students, Sudin. What's up?
What's
Gotta learn
up?
how to be funny. Yes, coming from the guy, one of the guys who makes funny stuff in the program. Yeah. From Coleman. Made the same mistake as a few hours ago. Didn't take my time. Yeah, it's all right. Sometimes third time's the charm. Yeah. Um, the more you do, honestly, this is a challenge you guys can do yourselves. Maybe you can make friends with some of the aspiring mangaka you met here today, or some of your fellow artist friends who are also into making manga or comics. Like, how about we do a challenge? Let's choose a random prompt from Reddit or from Tumblr, if Tumblr is still a thing. Look
What?
for inspiration.
Tumblr is a thing. Okay, go on.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been there for a while. But yeah, you can ask to do this yourselves, and you'll see the results. Now, Tank says I mostly learned from looking at others Yonkoma. They are looking good. That's so great, Tark. Thank you. Yes, you can definitely learn from others. From Dicky, how to keep these habits an interesting question. So to create a new habit, you start doing it. You start, that's the first step. And what I would do is, for say for example, I like eating I don't know what it's called in English, but we have like a mamon. It's like a sponge cake. So I like eating cake after a long and stressful day, and I tell myself before I eat that sponge cake, I have to do this first. Yeah. Or before I watch TV, I do this first. So you associate a new an activity with a habit, or a routine. Maybe you drink water 3 times a day. Like you associate that new activity with a habit you have until it becomes second nature. Soren says, I like the storyboard. I didn't like the proportion. It's okay. Storyboards are meant to be rough. It's not meant to look perfect. Yeah. Analogy says, making visuals is really hard for me, but writing is really fun. How can I improve? I'm only using a broken phone. Oh, the fact that you're using a broken can draw something with a broken phone, I think that's impressive. Give yourself more credit. Newer Jam says, Gald, I knew my fatal mistake before jumping onto the real thing. For Vilchi, thank you for today. I feel amazing after yesterday and today. I never thought it would take me so long to make any kind of proper comics page, and I did it. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, and I hope that this encourages you to make more manga. Yeah. Okay, Nafla says, I still have to learn the flow, composition, and the camera angle. For GH, for me, it was my first time drawing a manga. It was loads of fun, and thank you guys. I learned a lot about composition and overall manga making tips today. Yay! That's awesome. Okay,
Yay.
yeah. All right, so we might not have enough time to go through everyone's takeaways. So instead, how about you post what you wrote today in the community post, or if you're on Instagram, you can post this on your Instagram along with your Yonkoma and tag us at Learn to Draw Manga, at Learn to Draw Manga. Yeah. And time is up. Okay, yeah. So yeah, post your works and share your takeaways on your socials. You can also include the hashtag LTDM Yonkoma Workshop and tag us. So you can go back to this in the replay if in case you forget. Yeah. So now that you know how to make your Yonkoma, we want to ask you guys, are you ready to take action and finally bring your manga to life? Are you goal driven and ready to commit to making your manga dreams a reality? And are you a determined mangaka who wants to finally publish their first manga through self publishing, joining manga contests, and pitching to publishers? If this is you, type yes in the chat. Yup, with a
Woo.
strong P. Yup. How do you? Yup, yup, yup. Yeah.
Wow,
Uh,
the YouTube live stream chat's busy.
oh yeah.
Creating their own community, I guess. Good luck.
Good luck, guys. Community helps, yeah. So if you are this kind of person, we want to know if this is you. If this is you, type yes. Ooh. Oh yeah,
Yes.
nice. The swarm of yeses. Okay. So if you answered yes to all those questions, then we invite you to apply to our online one-shot manga drawing program. So just like our students, you'll learn everything from manga drawing basics to creating a full one-shot manga from start to finish. So it's not just going to be Yonkoma. You'll also learn how to make a one-shot manga. So just like Cherise, so Cherise joined us quite recently in just a month, in just a month, she was able to progress this much and gain more confidence in her inking and effects and toning. We've also have Joe, who in just 3 months has gotten better at explaining his ideas. He's also improved his composition, less tangents on his future works, and even including effects and more dialogue. We also have Takari's SMA submission, so uh, she felt quite happy with how she did. And honestly, we're such a huge fan of Takari's works. Like her stories are always really funny. And she's also improving on her foundational skills, making drawing backgrounds, using tones, anatomy, inking, and she's on her way to making more. So just like them, you've seen their results, you've seen how happy they are in the community and guidance from our mentors. Now the question is, do you want to be part of this? Do you want in on this too? If you want in, then type yes, type I want in the chat. So that. Let's see them. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, we got some of our students here. There's Yuan, Sudin. I think Mia was here a bit earlier, but left early. Shout out to Mia. Yeah. Okay.
Juan was here earlier as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Yuan is still here.
Yuan is
Yuan
still
is still
here.
here.
Yeah. Yeah, you can join Yuwon, Suden, Mia, and the others who are here. You can ask them. They know. They've seen the chaos that happens within our sessions. Yeah, so if you want to make your time making manga more meaningful, more productive, our one-shot manga drawing program is for you. Us coaches, our team, we're here. We're on a mission to help you publish your first manga with pro mangakas acting as your editor. So you're gonna be pitching to the likes of Naoya Yazawa and Rena Saya, as well as Steph Pastrano and Art Crumb. So these are very experienced, very impressive, very well decorated pro mangaka mentors here to help you get to the next level. And of course, this is for you if you're committed, that you really do want to make your own published manga. You got a unique story that you want to share with the world. You've done figuring this out alone. You're ready to learn from not just our mangaka mentors, but from the community as well. There's a lot to learn, more than what you have learned from this live workshop. We have a lot more to offer in our one shot manga drawing program. So if this sounds like you, then we invite you to apply and join. Our enrollment is now open. And like we said earlier, we're only taking applicants who are 18 years old and above. Okay. So if you're not 18 yet, that's okay. We still have these workshops, we still have our videos. But if you're already 18 and you're done waiting, you're done doubting, you're done waiting for the next big thing. The thing is, if you don't start now, then when? So if you want to take this shot, you want to take this chance, then you can book a free manga consultation call. I'll be posting the link in the Zoom chat as well as our live YouTube chat. So you can join via this link. Now, this is a free manga consultation call, which means if you have any questions, if you feel like this might be something that's for you, then this is, take that opportunity. Yeah. If we feel like you're not ready yet, we will tell you that to your face. We will tell you. But if the only thing that's holding you back is because you're scared, then how long will you continue to be scared? How long will you continue to worry that you're not good enough? In fact, we have a lot of students who also joined who they admit that they don't have a lot of experience drawing. They've only been drawing for excuse me. Bless- wait, sorry about that. So yeah, they've only been here for a short while, or they've only been drawing for a short while, and yet they're here, and they're getting guidance from our coaches, our mentors. So nothing's gonna hold you back. Yeah, you can take this chance. You won't lose anything by booking that call. All right. So while we're gonna give you guys some time to, for those who are applying, we're gonna give you some time to fill out the application. In the meantime, maybe we can entertain some questions from the chat. Maybe one, two, or three questions. Let's see. Okay. Thank you, A25. Those who stopped by. Yeah. Okay. How can I improve my drawing and shading? From Anorak, the easy answer is references.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Real.
Do not underestimate references. And honestly, start with real life references. You don't need to copy it line by line, shape by shape. Look at it like from a big picture. Like what, like if that's a head, like or how does the shade look like in this object? How big is the shadow cast on the ground? Okay, so from Jackson, I have a question. Show no reactions in close up, like darkening eyes will make the intense movement more cool. Darkening eyes? Sorry, I'm not quite understanding the question.
It
Okay, and
kind of
also,
also just depends on like what you want to achieve and how you
mm,
execute it. So coolness is like in the
it,
execution.
yeah, it's subjective. It depends.
Soren
Okay,
says my biggest problem is body proportions. The answer to that is reference and guidelines.
right.
So don't skip over drawing guidelines, like the
Mm,
lines, like the circular basic shapes and like your line of action, those kinds of things. Don't skip over drawing those. Um and also breaking down your references can help you get used to certain to like the body proportions of a regular human body, and
mm,
then you can, once you get enough practice, you'll start to be able to do it instinctually, but you'll always still have to adjust your drawing as you go along. And that's why you need to sketch and use your
yeah.
guidelines in the beginning. So you can do it
Yes.
before you've done like any major lining or coloring. You want to get out all of the better your sketches, the cleaner, like the more figured out your sketches, the better your drawing will be, your workflow will be in the later processes of
Mm,
drawing.
yeah.
How
So
can I, sorry, go
oh,
on.
so from Khaled, I'm 18 and studying graphic design in an institution. 1 year before college, can I join? Yeah. Like it, you have to assess, your commitment levels. Um, honestly, the one to answer that question is you. Um, if you're already 18, if you feel like you have the means and the time, that's something that you like, if you could book a consultation call, it can help us. We can ask you some questions. 'Cause not everyone who calls gets in. Because we're also gonna check, like, is this what you really want? Because sometimes we have people who are not really here to make manga. I mean, we don't want to waste your time. Yeah. But if this is something you really aspire to do, you're ready to make the time, the commitment, put in your resources, then yeah, we'll help you every step of the way. We'll figure something out. Yeah.
Nishal
Okay.
says, how can I learn to draw more diverse expression? There are so many subtleties to it. I'm gonna sound so unhelpful right now, but also reference. There's, if you go to, I think it was lineofaction.com, or was it quick ref gestures? But anyway,
Mhm.
there are websites that allow you to do gesture drawing practice, and one of them is like faces. I highly suggest just practicing from like just sketching pictures of people doing certain expressions. If you
Mhm.
want to do manga, I also suggest mixing it up. So you'll practice from real life expression, but you should also practice drawing manga as well, like the anime style expressions. Just copy them and sort of just copy them with the mind of like trying to understand why they did this and why they did what.
Mhm.
Yeah, and yeah, eventually you'll start understanding and you'll be able to apply it to your own original work. But yeah, at
Wow.
the beginning it's very much looking at what others have done and copying them and analyzing them for yourself and doing a lot of like doing a lot of reflection basically.
Yeah.
make
Agreed.
make those brain cells work.
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 Yeah. Okay. So I think I want to see if anyone has applied. Like, let us know. But if you feel like you want to like think about it more, um, sorry, what was I lost my trainer thought. But yeah, if you feel like you can't finish the application during the session, you can continue. You have the link right there, and we'll be here. We'll be ready when you are. Sorry, because we're a little bit over time now, so we're gonna have to wrap up. Okay, so we'll just leave these parting words with you guys. Where will you be tomorrow if you start today? Okay, so we invite you to take that leap. Yeah, we invite you to take that leap, and we're also looking forward to see you in class. Maybe next week one of you guys are gonna be joining our private sessions, and let me tell you, class is a lot more intense there. Yeah, especially with our mentors. So yeah, with that said, we thank you guys for coming, and please make sure that you tap the notification bell to get updated with new videos, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you all in the next one. Yay! Thank you so much,
Yay!
guys.
Woo!
Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thanks everyone. Good job. Bye bye.